Today we have two very wonderful people that are going to do justice to some of the topics we have to discuss on today.
We have Mr. Ozemena Okechukwu and Mr. Chidi Onachukwu.
Gentlemen, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. Interestingly, you'll be hearing chi. I mean, that's interesting. It's just a coincidence. It wasn't like it was planned. Now we're having two
guests for today's show. Yeah.
And interestingly, these are men who not only are they in the industry, they are gurus, importers, they're into clearing, they're into everything. They understand the system just as, we too understand the system. Yeah. So, once more,
the maritime sector just like the back of their hands.
Yeah, once more.
You're very much welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. Once more, this is an interactive program. We will be reading out the phone lines as we progress. So, we'll start with our news bulletin. Over 50% of complaints I receive about overtime cargoes, says the Customs CG. The Controller General of the Nigerian Customs Service, Bashir Adewale Adeni MFR, has disclosed that more than half of the complaints he handles daily are linked to overtime cargoes congesting Nigerian ports. Adeni made the revelation on Monday at Apapa Customs Command while addressing consignees, custom brokers, terminal operators and officers at a sensitization program on the automation of overtime cargo clearance. Over 50% of letters, emails and complaints I receive as CG are about overtime cargo. Some of these disputes end up with the ICPC, EFCC and even reach the President's desk. One case has dragged for nearly 15 years, resurfacing with every administration, he said. The custom boss, however, stressed that the service's goal is not revenue from auction sales, but efficient port operations. In 2024, we collected 6.3 trillion in revenue, but less than 1% came from overtime cargo sales. Our focus is transparency, reducing corruption, and freeing space at the ports. He announced that special desk has been set up in headquarters and key commands to fast-track the clearance of imports for government projects, manufacturers, embassies, and international agencies. These goods are vital for power, road, health, and education projects. They must not spend one extra day in the ports, he said. We are more interested in exiting the cargoes from the ports rather than having them as overtime, he remarked. On deliberate cargo abandonment, Adeniyi warned, we know some people exploit the system. Our intelligence units will stay alert and we will not allow criminals to hijack the process. So we believe that something good is coming from there, and we're hoping that there'll be reprieve for those who end up finding themselves with overtime cargo.
Yes, sure one very important point he made about overtime cargo is that less than 1% of their revenue come from that, and it's not in their favor to have a cargo overstay at the terminals. And he made reference to the fact that some people turn it into a kind of use it as a way of probably circumventing the payment of duties. That's what it means.
Really, that one you go explain when we reach there. All right, NAGAF commends NPA, TTP over improved traffic flow along Apapa Tincan Ports corridors. The National Association of Government Approved Freight Forwarders, NAGAF, has applauded the Nigerian Ports Authority, NPA, and Truck Transit Parks Limited, TTP, for their role in easing traffic congestion around the Apapa and Tincan Island ports corridors, which hitherto affected port operations and nightmare for its users. The president of NAGAF, High Chief Tochukwu Ezesi, stated that the digital traffic management system introduced by TTP under the supervision of the Nigerian Ports Authority has transformed cargo movement in and around Nigeria's busiest ports of Apapa and Tincan ports. Maram moves against 5 billion war risk surcharges, constitutes 8-man advocacy committee. The Maritime Reporters Association of Nigeria, MARAN, has constituted an 8-man committee to drive the implementation of resolutions reached at the just concluded 3rd Annual Maritime Lecture, MAMA 2025, with particular focus on ending the war risk insurance, WRI premiums imposed on vessels calling at Nigerian ports. The committee, inaugurated after the lecture held on August 28 at 4 Points by Sheraton, Victoria Island, Lagos, is chaired by maritime security expert Mr. Emmanuel Meguwa, while Mr. Olayinka Onigbinde serves as secretary. The committee's mandate is to coordinate engagements with local and international stakeholders with the aim of securing the suspension of WRI premiums, which stakeholders argue have become unjustifiable in light of Nigeria's improved maritime security.
Yeah, I think that's a good one. We've not had issues of piracy in the country for about a year, and yet the country is still being charged war risk insurance. So it's a good thing. Journalists are advocating for it to be Nigeria to be removed from that war risk or the payment of the war risk insurance and getting it.
All right. BRICS Milestone Matoni Limited to highlight Nigeria's maritime progress on global stage at London Shipping Week. BRICS Milestone Matoni Limited has announced its participation at the forthcoming London International Shipping Week, which actually took place between 15th and 19th of this month. And for them, their participation will provide a platform to highlight Nigeria's maritime progress, particularly in addressing security challenges in the Gulf of Guinea and positioning Nigeria as a competitive shipping hub. So while they're doing this, we're also hoping that this whole thing about the cabotage and will come to play, because we need to have a vibrant economy. We need to see Nigeria where Nigerians, indigenous Nigerians, own their own ships.
Yeah.
And the ships are moving around and moving goods.
Yeah.
Well, during the week, we heard that a U.S. judge blasts Trump government over deportation of Nigerians, Gambians to Ghana. It's funny how Nigerians are treated outside the shores of Nigeria, and on the other hand, people are still complaining that a lot of things are not being put in place. The poverty level, the unemployment, all of this. So for us, we think that the government should do more so that Nigerians will stop running out of this country, so that Nigerians can stay and build that nation that we all desire.
One thing. I've seen some videos, heard some foreigners say that the best of the people we have in this country are running away from the country because the atmosphere here seems not to be conducive for them to develop themselves to their fullest potentials, and that's why you have all this brain drain going on, people moving away. It's rather unfortunate. The government should do more.
Tommy, you're talking like somebody that wants to japa. No. All right, Nigerian Ports Authority moves to check unauthorized truck diversions, installs electronic access system at terminals. In a move aimed at checking unauthorized truck diversions, the Managing Director of the Nigerian Ports Authority, NPA, Dr. Abubakar Dat Soho, has directed the installation of electronic access systems at the seaports terminals. The electronic barrier systems installed at the terminals within the Lagos Ports Complex, Apapa, is part of the efforts to improve on operational efficiency and traffic management in the ports. To ensure seamless coordination and transparency in truck movements, the electronic barriers, according to a statement from the organization, have been fully integrated with the electronic call-up system for haulage trucks, also called ETO, which is managed by Trucks Transit Parks Limited. With the system, only trucks with valid ETO issued call-up tickets are granted access to terminal facilities, thereby eliminating unauthorized entries and enhancing gate control operations. This has been in effect since 1st of September 2025. I mean, we want things to work.
Yeah.
We want
better efficiency.
Yes, we want our ports to be, entry and exit to be seamless. Yeah. But then the question is, don't forget, this whole thing about ETO, who is ripping off who? We need to know that.
I think we'll talk more about it in the program.
Yes. Kaduna Daikon explosion, 1 dead, several injured, as Board of Inquiry launched. The Defense Industries Corporation of Nigeria, Daikon, has confirmed that a deadly explosion occurred at its ordnance factory disposal pit in Kaduna on Saturday, September 20th, 2025. We heard that one person has been confirmed dead and several other persons injured. Our heart reaches out to the families that have lost their loved ones, and we hope that due diligence and proper steps will be taken to forestall such a situation in future. Now we're going to do a little bit of politicking. This one I'm a ball. Why Governor Fubara chose peace over politics after Rivers State emergency rule. Governor Fubara, his deputy Professor Ngozi Odu, and Chief of Staff Edison Ehie touched down at the Port Harcourt International Airport on Friday afternoon to a heroic welcome. In his broadcast, Governor Fubara described the period of emergency rule as enormously challenging, admitting that there had been immense pressure on him to resist or challenge the legality of the federal takeover. Please note that word. He's calling it a federal takeover. He added
that's what it was.
Yes, he added that resisting legal confrontation was a deliberate sacrifice aimed at preventing further violence and allowing time for dialogue to succeed. With the emergency rule lifted and reconciliation efforts underway, Rivers State appears poised for a fresh start. The coming weeks will be crucial as Fubara reshuffles his cabinet, forwards commissioners, nominees, and focuses on developmental projects. For me, I keep saying, any peace that is devoid of justice is peace of the graveyard. In all of this brouhaha, the federal government or the presidency have not seen the need to blame Wike, the role he played, but everybody has blamed Fubara for not keeping to an agreement. And then I asked, Nigeria, are the states captured where the godfathers are holding sway, or those who help, as they claim, who help people to get into office are the ones holding sway? And then
it's rather unfortunate that justice seems not to be served in our nation right now. A whole lot of things are going wrong, but the governor has been reinstated, and I hope that we move beyond what you said about the peace of the graveyard to real peace, and so that the River State, such a rich state in the country, can find peace, the real peace, and the path to development.
I was telling somebody, I said that in declaring state of emergency in River State, I think it's just to protect the oil wells. If we look at the insecurity in the country, other places ought to have been given the same treatment. But then, maybe those states are seen not to be in a position to provide what Rivers is providing. But
well, some people have also speculated that it's just for a ploy for the ruling party to capture that very strategic state
for 2027.
Yeah, for 2027. And probably part of the peace agreement that has been held with Fubara is that he does a cross-carpeting. Well, who knows? Only time shall tell.
Well, Dilly, cross-carpeting in Nigeria has become a norm. It doesn't excite anyone anymore. You get employed by Julius Berger, for instance, and you go to VOP for your salary. All right. This is one news that I just felt we should look at it, and it's going to be one of our major concerns, because that's where we're going to take up from. It says TCIP. For those who don't know, it's Tincan Island Port. How Controller Frank Onyeka is driving record revenues and reforms. When Controller Frank Onyeka emerged as the new Customs Area Controller at Tincan Island Port 9 months ago, the bar was already very high, courtesy the good work of his predecessor, Deputy Controller General DCG Dera Nadi. Many wondered if the bar could get higher for revenue generation, trade facilitation, and infrastructure restructuring at the command. Controller Onyeka, when quizzed about the possibility of surpassing his predecessor's attainment, modestly stressed the place of God's grace and stakeholders' collaboration in his affirmation. A few weeks ago, on a breezy Tuesday morning in late August, the usual bustling Tincan Island port carried an unusual sense of triumph as containers rolled in and out and customs officers manned their posts.
Their posts.
A quiet milestone was being recorded in the command's ledgers. By the end of the day, the Nigerian Customs Service at Tincan Island had generated an eye-watering 16.4 billion in revenue in a single day, a feat never before achieved in the command's history. For Controller Frank Onyeka, this moment was more than a numerical victory. It was, in his words, a reflection of the game-changing role of technology and teamwork in modernizing port operations on the premises of B. Dogu.
Yeah.
All right, so
they've been happy on it. They've been singing the praises of Bodogu. I guess it's working for the customs as it is.
All right, so now let us read out the numbers to you. Like I said, this is an interactive program. 0700 903 903 903.
081 7175 6338.
0803 692 29933. VOP 90.3 FM, and this is the Maritime and Border Show. All right, sir. My guests, they've been waiting eagerly to jump into the discussion. Once more, let me welcome Mr. Ozomene Okechukwu and Mr. Chidi Onachukwu. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
Please, can you move closer to your
mic?
Mic, yes, so that you can be heard.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to start with Mr. Onachukwu, because I saw when I was reading out the news, you were really you were agreeing to some and you were disagreeing to some. But let's start with Tincan, and let's start with Biodogu. Everybody, every Nigerian importer, especially the customs, they're so fascinated about Biodogu. And we can see that between Apapa, Tincan, and KLT, the revenues are going high. But the importers, the clearing agents, everybody's crying. What do you think is wrong, sir?
It's very obvious. The customs or government's preoccupation is revenue collection. But at what cost? If you kill the hen that lays the egg, where are you going to collect the eggs tomorrow? We find situations where an importer provides an invoice for, say, $50,000. That's the cost of his import. Then government, the customs, in the process of issuing PA, raises the invoice to $200,000 and then charges the
Importer
the value based on their own assessment. How is that going to pan out? One thing is certain. The importer is going to pass the cost to the consumer, the final consumers. This affects virtually everybody. Yes, government is smiling. We have raised enough revenue. But then, the society where it is supposed to uplift is going down. My take is just for a matter of time. Because even if you go to the port, to the seaport now, the volume, the cargo volume has tremendously shrinked. But the revenue realized have shoot exponentially. How do you marry these two divergent positions? It is an indication that something is terribly wrong. It looks as if the operators, everybody wants to shine, wants to say, I've raised so and so amount and he will be applauded. But what is the consequence on your local economy? Because if, for instance, I bring in an eyeglass from the producers, which I'm supposed to sell for, say, 5,000 naira, and then I'm paying a tax of 15,000 naira for a 5,000 naira product. The cost of that eyeglass now is 20,000. Then I'll add my markup. At the end of the day, you have it at 25,000. Now, there is no new value added on this eyeglass. It's just plain extortion, as it were. So my appeal to the authorities is to go back, sit down, evaluate this procedure that they are implementing now. I don't need to begin to reel out figures, but there are cargoes that we used to pay 900,000, 1 million, some 4-5 years ago. Those cargo, if you pay 12 million now, you are lucky.
No, but sir, I'm going to take us back. When you started, you said something that startled us. You said if your value is 50, for instance, 50 million, custom increases it to 200 million.
They call it uplifting. They uplift your value.
Why would they do that?
That is the question.
And why would an importer accept such?
The point is, like we all know, the importers do not have an association. It's just individuals, everyone on his own. The only organ that could have resisted this implementation are the various agents organization, like the Nalca and the rest.
Yeah,
but unfortunately, those organizations have been infiltrated. And so you find officers of those organizations being sponsored by customs. And if you are sitting on the magnanimity of customs, how are you going to attack them? So the situation is not looking good.
Yeah, why I'm so furious right now. It's because I'm trying to see. This is a government that is talking about the blue economy. This is a government that is talking about reviving the marine sector. So why would you now try to? Because whatever value they place on your goods reflects on the price that the end users will pay. So, in other words, it's even the importers are not bothered, because at the end of the day, they must make their profit from the end users.
No, everybody's bothered, because before now, the importer his turnaround has reduced greatly, because the purchasing power has greatly reduced. The purchasing power has greatly reduced. And so all these things affect the entire economy. I give you an example. There's this item they call water sprinkler. Water sprinkler is an agricultural tools where farmers use to irrigate their farms.
Yeah.
Originally, it is supposed to be 5%. But with the new drive for revenue, the customs have shot up, even though it is 5%. But when you bring it, say 10,000, they tell you the cost is 70,000, and your value is based on $70,000. So the cost of that sprinkler has also shot up, which means that value that you would have given to the agricultural industry has also shrunk, so to speak, because most of those farmers could no longer buy, because if they invest on it, the final product will not be able to generate the cost they have invested in those tools, those equipment. These are what we are saying. People say the food is very expensive. Why is the food very expensive? The tools, the inputs are becoming costlier. The chemicals used for pesticides are becoming very expensive. Why? Because customs value on it have skyrocketed. I don't want to talk about the cost of value, the cost of dollar. Let me not go there. I'm just focusing on the ones that we see every day.
All right, sir. To if you put on several occasions, I've put out these questions to customs officials. On what premises do you base your charges or your tariff? What you charge the importers or the clearing agent, the freight holders? Of course, they tell you that they have their valuation book and everything. Is it that there's there's a gap in communication, or that maybe freight forwarders and licensed customs agents are not well trained to know exactly how the customs get to value each item in order to ask you to pay the tariff that you pay?
The truth of the matter.
Where's the disparity?
The truth of the matter is, products made in Germany, for instance, in the Western world, are much more expensive.
Yeah.
Labor is expensive.
Yeah.
Cost of tax and the rest is expensive. Now, in Nigeria, most of the importers go to
the Asian countries,
especially China. Labor is cheap. Their product is cheap.
Tax is cheap. Now, if you want to use the value of goods made in Germany to cost that made in China, there is a mismatch. It doesn't make any sense.
There's a mismatch. And that is the issue. We've had to argue this times without number. Why will you use the cost of goods made in the Western world to value the ones made in China? So that is the disparity.
I thought the cost of this, the tariff that you pay is based on percentage. Because, like you just said,
Yes, percentage.
5%, 10%.
Yes,
Some
yes.
go as high as 35%.
Yes,
So
but-
where is the disparity? Where
The disparity, like I told you, if the cost of this eyeglass is $1, I bought $1 for one in China, and then you as a custom officer from your tariff book is telling me that this glass
was made in Germany.
not made in Germany, but the cost of this glass is $6, because the document before you is saying that this glass is $6, and so you're going to charge me the 5, 10, 20, or 35% based on $6.
Oh, all right.
So-
Hold your breath, sir. Hold your breath. I'm coming to Mr. Zomene. I'm going to take you on the route of conveyance, transportation of goods. People have complained, a lot of people have complained that when their goods are moving from Lagos to the east, it's like a war zone. Once they get to somewhere like Benin, that from Ore, Benin and all of that, that they're having difficulties. And then the question is, these difficulties, is it by touts or is it by custom agents? Or is it by custom themselves?
Well, I wouldn't. I wouldn't say for sure, because I have a lot of complaints from drivers. I have a lot of complaints from drivers who we dispatch to deliver cargo to southeast and south. And one of the most difficult spots is before Ebuma. They always complain about custom officials. I don't know if they're working there officially or they're there on their own. And because when you dispatch goods, they will always request for custom papers. Even at that, after even citing the custom papers, they still will hold on to the drivers and be requesting for one kind of money, extortion. It's extortion, basically extortion. And surprisingly, they don't ask for such when you are trucking to northern side of Nigeria. So I don't know why it is so, especially on the eastern side and the south side. I don't know why. What is peculiar about that zone, that you have a lot of challenges trucking goods to that part of the country, and at the end of the day, adds up to the cost of the goods that they transfer the burden to the consumers, and small businesses are suffering. I want to appeal to CG and the state governor to intervene and look into the activities of those custom men on the road before Eboma, especially.
Okay, so I'm still with you, sir. Now, looking at it, what role do you think smuggling is playing in all of this? Because customs will come and tell you that the borders are porous, and if they're saying that the borders are porous, how do you think this whole issue of smuggling can be checkmate, so that trucks that are leaving from Lagos do not have to sleep 2 days, 3 days on the road because of customs holding it down?
I don't think it's the issue of smuggling. I don't think it's the issue of smuggling, because before any cargo comes into the country, the custom releases the cargo. So it cannot be issue of smuggling. Something is not adding up somewhere. I think those men are there deliberately, probably working for somebody or working on their own. Probably. It's not the issue of smuggling, because no cargo leaves the seaport or the land border without the customs knowledge. So it cannot be.
All right, so let me come back to you. We've looked at, you've talked about the customs imaginary price for goods. Now let us also go a step further. What is your take on the workability of POW itself? Because everybody is complaining every day. They talk about network, they talk about glitches, they talk about time wasted, they talk about the fact that you need to pay more in terms of demurrage, to shipping line, to the ports. How do you think Biodogu is helping importers and clearing agents?
It's a very unfortunate situation, because the clamor for a change was as a result of network issues, glitches, delays, and stuff like that. And so the customs, we thought, were going to develop a system that will not have these challenges. But unfortunately, the Bidogu seem to be worse than NICES in terms of network failure, glitches, and stuff like that. And so this delay is an advantage for terminal operators and the shipping companies. For each day your cargo sleeps in the port, that cargo pay more than you pay in a hotel room. That is the fact. And so you can imagine where your cargo that should leave the port in at most 7 days is there for 1 month, 2 months. You know what you will pay. Now, if eventually you bring out the cargo, who's going to take the cost? Is it you? You must pass it on. That is the dangers of these inadequacies in our system. One would have expected that in writing the program for Biodogu, customs ought to have brought in consultants from known software companies to assist in developing. Yes, we want an indigenous platform, but at what cost? We have to look at all these different dimensions. We have to look at it. If Biodogu is efficient, we'll be glad.
Are you saying, sir, that right now it's not doing the work, it's not efficiently run?
It is not me that is saying. It is an action that is happening every day.
How would you compare it with the
NICES
2 by Fontaine? Knowing that this is
I don't want
this
to
is a
make
new
that
program,
comparison,
a new
but
system.
No, you need to. You need to. So that it will also help the customs.
Presently, NICES was far ahead of Biodogu. But I understand their argument. They say it's a teething problem.
Yeah.
That they are just starting. But the other people have had years of experience and the adjustments and stuffs like that. So our hope is that teething problem is resolved as soon as possible.
Okay, now
Yeah,
sorry.
One question I want to ask you is this: you complain about the issue of demurrages that have been incurred because of the inefficiency of the system. Has the government involved themselves in trying to resolve that issue? Because it means that the cost of clearing goods is added to the importer or the customs licensed agents or the freight forwarder, and it will make the cost of the good in the end to go high if they have to pay those demurrages. What are the steps taken to maybe do a write-off for the debts incurred or the demurrages incurred?
I don't know whether it's politics, but they said they were going to engage the Nigerian Shippers Council and also the terminal operators. But have they done that? That is what I can't answer.
Okay,
because up till now,
sorry, hold
it is still the same position.
The last time we had a guest here, he also acknowledged the fact that the Shippers Council says that they're into discussions with the shipping lines, and then we're asking, for how long will this discussion hold? So if you're saying to us again that the Shippers Council, you're indirectly saying that the Shippers Council has not been up and doing, if I'm correct.
I'm not going to say that because, this is business. The shipping line say they have bunker costs to pay.
Okay.
Every day, most of their containers are on rent, or what do you call it?
Yeah, they are on rent, yeah.
So they have to pay those who own the containers. So if you are telling them to waive the demurrage that has arisen as a result of your inefficiency, how are they going to run their business? So while you are raising from this point, the other person also have his own reasons while your argument is not reasonable to him.
Okay. All right. Sorry. This is VOP. This is VOP 90.3 FM. We're still on the Maritime and Border Show. Our lines are open 0700 903 903 903.
081 7175 6338.
08036 929933. You can send in your WhatsApp messages. You can call us on direct call. You can also call us on WhatsApp. Before you continue, sir, I'm going to go back to Mr. Ozomene. I know you're an importer, sir, if I'm right.
Yes, I am.
Now, as an importer, would you say with your whole chest that you have benefited or you are benefiting from the Odogu system?
Well, the system is very, very hard now. It's affecting the consumer, it's affecting the importer. I would like us to do country by country comparison. How long does it take to have a cargo cleared in Benin and some other West African, Togo, Ghana, and the rest of them? If we put that in context and compare to Nigeria, we see if we are doing good or where we are, because it's very important. I tell you, most clearing agents, they prefer to clear their cargo in Cotonou because it's faster and cheaper. So why?
Predictable, not just faster, cheaper. Predictable.
So why is Nigeria?
So they have higher predictability.
Predictability. Here is where, after paying the customs value duty, a desk officer in custom will tell you that duty is nonsense.
You have to
that
pay
this
him.
is low duty, and that is going to raise you a DN.
The human obstacle.
The obstacles there.
But these are some of the challenges that the same Odogu you are criticizing.
No, because you see, if you are aware, during the time of Obasanjo, Jonathan, Okonjo-Iweala, they tried to introduce scanning equipment, so that a lot of human obstacles that we're experiencing now will be eliminated. But they sabotage it.
Who sabotaged?
Who did?
Nigerians.
Are we sure that it's still not the same sabotage that is playing out now with Bodogu?
It's Nigerians who wear uniform.
It's not the same. Can we say that it's the same sabotage that is playing out now?
Well,
I don't think so.
In everything they always say Nigerian factor.
Yeah.
So I mean, if those scans were still in operation now, you won't have all these delays. Once you pay through the bank, you pay your duty. No desk officer will start asking you for one money or the other.
Though I've been to the Lekki deep sea port. Everything there is automated, and their scanning period is about 33 seconds. So why can't we do the same for other ports?
But how long does it take for your entry to be scanned? That Lekki deep sea port is new. Most people are yet to put their cargo. That is to say, the traffic there is minimal. If you compare with Apapa, the traffic at Apapa, for you to get your container scanned, maybe 2 weeks.
Yeah,
2 weeks at best.
And because of that, the efficiency of the Lekki deep sea port, their turnover is getting higher. From the records we have, about 2 years ago when they started, they made just about 70 billion. Last year they made about 300 200 and something billion. Now, as at last month, from the record I got, they've made about 59 billion naira. And, you know, like I said before, scanning period is about 33 seconds for a cargo. And just about when the cargo comes in there, from ship to shore, from what we saw, it's about 16 hours. So why can't that be replicated all over the country?
My point is, one, the Lekki Deep Seaport have lesser traffic and more modern equipment. In places like Apapa, the traffic is high. And then, just about 33 seconds, or is that minute, to scan one container. Yeah. But the point is, seconds. When is your entry? Because you are in queue. When is your entry getting to the point of scanning? That's why I say maybe 2 weeks. And within that 2 weeks, you'll be paying them already.
Okay, I'm going to come back to Mr. Osomene. He said something that I couldn't just allow to go. He said that when I'm trying to understand, when you're given a value, you know, the value is supposed to be given to you by a custom officer, isn't it? From the evaluation, they give you a value. And then the question is, after giving you a value and you go and pay, how can the same man who gives you a value come back and tell you that, you know, your value is not correct? Hold on, don't answer me yet, sir. Let's take a call. Oh, we lost him. All right, continue. So how can you come back and say that the value is, you know, I'm trying to understand. I am a valuation man. I give you a value, and then, hello?
Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning. This is a body.
Ogachilaka, President Laka, right?
Yes, sir.
Our main man. God bless you, sir.
Bless you too, sir. Welcome, sir. Your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Robert.
Okay, Mr. Robert.
I called because of you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
My question that I want to ask, you know, the federal government has hiked the import duty. I mean, declaring money at the port. Though I don't work in the port, but I have very small experience. So my question is that those importers that are free to clear their goods at the port, is it not a criminal offense for customs to say after they did not clear them, they should auction them for sale to the public when they know that it does not belong to them? I want to know if it is a criminal offense.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
No, our guest will answer you. All right, so.
Mr. Zemina, react to that particular one.
Which one? Okay.
The question just asked: is it a criminal offense for the customs to put your uncleared cargo,
go ahead,
the overtime cargo, for auction?
Well,
is it not legitimate?
There's a law backing it up.
Okay.
And when you go contrary to the law, you face the consequences.
It's a policy.
But coming to his question about...
Hello, good afternoon.
Presiaka, good afternoon, sir.
Your name and where you're calling from, please.
My name is James Agas. I'm calling from Badagry.
Welcome,
please,
sir.
switch off your radio or go away from your radio.
I have gone out from there. Yeah, Presiaka, please, I want to ask some questions like Southeast and South-South. It's not only in Lagos we have all these people. There's seaport in Calabar and Port Harcourt and Warri. Why all those ones are not working? Why all these places, so how many seaports here are congested? They are still building new one here. Does it mean that it's only Lagos we have seaports, we have sea? Or that it's only Lagos that can only where people will clear their goods and be start boarding themselves going to east? Having obstacles on the road, container falling there and there, police and the customs disturbing the area. Why not open other ones so that Lagos will reduce congested that is in Lagos? That's my question. Thank you and God bless you all in the studio.
Thank you. We'll get back to you, sir.
Mr. Nachuku, can you answer that question, please?
Oh, it's a deliberate policy to stagnate the zone. So let's not go. There's politics.
It's not just
because there's nowhere in the world.
It's not just about ports.
There's
airports.
There's nowhere
everything.
in the world. There's nowhere in the world. The seaport, airport is concentrated in one place. Nowhere in the world I know of that wants to make progress.
Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to the Maritime and Border Show. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
Hello, good afternoon, Mr. Chilaka. Good afternoon, sir.
Afternoon, sir.
Gentlemen in studio, I greet every one of you.
Good afternoon, sir. Your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Sunday Uzoulu. I'm calling from Elasa. I'm a freight forwarder and based in Kirikiri. Mr. Chilaka, this program, if you know what you are solving in this country, based on this your program, God will bless you, my brother. Thank you very much. I want to make just very quickly about 4 points, please, if you can allow me.
You have less than 2 minutes. Go ahead.
Okay, sorry, sir. First of all, association in industry is dead. Based on explanation, what my brother said, he said most of the agents and associations are in payroll of customs, so they cannot act. As of now, I'm talking to you now. I have a document 3x40, agricultural equipment, paid 5%. But customs based on that, and they asked me a lot of money. And with the documents now, I can lead one by one to you because I need to take the delivery on Monday. But if I tell you how much customs collected based on 5% item, and they refuse to accept or treat that document, said they increased the par value. I paid 30 million for 3 containers. And they said I'm supposed to pay 35 million, this and that, and collect a lot of money. Which the owner of that job is crying, based on importer, which is very bad. That's one. Secondly, DOD is a process in they're just working on it. But to me, I believe they will work out well. But for now, they're too bad. Now, Mr. Chilaka, do you agree with me that a custom asked me to pay 50,000 for him to link private terminal to print exit that is not taking 1 naira to other terminals to print, but because they are not linked to them, they ask agents to pay 50,000. If you like, I call him now, but I cannot do that.
No, this
a
is
custom officer. Secondly,
sir, for that, I think there are channels for complaints. I think
okay, but I want to tell you that agents cannot fight custom because some of agents associations are dead. Yeah. Another one, please. Last one. I don't want to go to that fourth one, but last one. Okay. These customs based on rules, collecting money from people, trucking from Lagos to East is very bad. But from Lagos to North, not even one single station we see there. Let me tell you, when we are talking about these things, it looks like some people are angry. But when you look at the system, you see that the system is too corrupt and against one ethnic group. Let me stop here. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, sir.
well, I mean, you have heard from Nigerians, so it's not peculiar to any individual.
Hello. Yes, good afternoon, my wonderful people on the studio.
You're welcome, sir. Your name?
Yeah, okay. My name from Abulado. I greet everybody, those who are listening to me.
We greet you back.
What is surprising me is these are my wonderful people in Nigeria whom God has blessed, most of them that are going to abroad. Are they not seeing how they are doing their thing? Okay, when they come, they will torture us. Corruption everywhere. Okay, if goods supposed to be either container supposed to be 1 million that the custom officer or so-called whichever force that they are using to collect this thing, if it will be 1 million naira, will it be cost like this? 30 million, 20 million. Can you expect that person who has that good to come and sell his thing at 1 naira? In fact, we are too wicked. Custom.
All right, sir. Time is up.
They should make it. If they are serious, they should make a law. If they will be snapping people, snap them and begin to sell. Snap them. Video is punish them.
Thank you so very much, sir. Thank you for your contribution. People are really angry.
If we want to work on data, do you know how many millions of small businesses that have shut down because of high tariff?
Uncountable.
Small businesses. I'm not talking of multinational that has
EV
left.
Sir, you said something before.
Sorry,
Why is it that you do not
good
have a
afternoon,
kind of...
welcome to
Good afternoon, sir. President.
your name and where you're calling from, please.
My name is Obin. I'm calling from Edipo.
You're welcome, sir.
You people are talking about the ones, the imported one from overseas. In Nigeria here, convert a bush from north to Lagos. That's the reason why people are complaining. Food is very costly. But if you know the tax, which individual collect from one trailer that bring goods into Lagos State, if you know the amount of money they spend, sometimes they will not enter in the daytime. They will stay at the door gate far back. They want to enter in the night. But still, the money individuals are collecting from them. This you people are talking about the abroad loan, the ones our custom is doing. That's the reason why, and there is no harm if I import a container and pay any amount I spend, it will pay on the masses. It will pay on the burden of masses. They will pay me back that money. That's the reason why everything is very costly. The government are happy that they are making 16 trillion or whatever in a day. It's in our body. It's in our body. It's standing in our body.
Thank you.
Thank you. We are running out of time. Sir, I just have one question to you.
No, let him. He was giving us.
You can just. The question is this: you said something about the importers not having a kind of pressure group or organized. Why are they not organized in order to be able to say, "Oh, this association or this advocacy group, or this is what we are feeling in our businesses. So why can't you do this A or B in order to remedy?"
Well, nobody has thought about it. Nobody has thought about it because in the past, this kind of situation don't really occur. It started with probably Buhari and is escalating under this government. So in the past, these issues are just not actually noticeable.
But it's going to get worse if you guys are not organized.
Well,
and the Nigerians are going to be bearing
well, somehow Nigerians have given up, but I wish they would wake up.
The ones that are organized, that's the Manufacturer Association of Nigeria, MAN.
Mm-hmm.
Oftentimes, that pressure group is unable to
even LCC,
make any effect.
Even LCC has spoken about it. LCC.
Which is LCC? Okay.
LCC, Lagos
LCCI. Okay.
There was one Muda that usually corporate conference. Yeah. I don't know where he is now because he's been talking about all these issues.
The problem is that the government is focused.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
You're our last caller for today.
You have 20 seconds, please. Your name and
where a nice job.
Thank you so much.
All right, this is calling from Elasa. Yeah, I'm an importer, and I need to make it clear here. I think under Jonathan we are paying 40 feet for 750,000 BT. Under Buhari we pay 3.something million per BT. Now we are paying 14.something million per 40 feet container, and everybody has to pay back. If I clear my goods with 30 million naira, I need to add my own profit before selling it. So that is why everybody is complaining. The government is making noise that they are making trillions of naira. Why the people are crying? The government should feel for the masses. They are not helping the masses at all. Thank you and have a nice day.
Thank you. All right, can we have your parting shot, sir?
Well, I want to appeal to CG and particularly Edo State Governor. They should look into the complaints of drivers going through that route to south and southeast. The extortion is just so unbelievable. We are part of Nigeria, okay? And what is applicable on the northern route should be applicable there. Why do we have internal custom border control inside the country? It never happens anywhere. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes,
Mr. Nacho, sir.
For me, it's still on the CG. Nigerian Customs is supposed to be a trade facilitation agency. Putting studs, bombs, and barricades will only increase costs. Eventually, the cost will be passed down. So, invariably it is the economy that will still suffer the blow. And that will reduce the value that people ought to have gotten and increase the pain of the masses, as it were.
Yeah, thank you so very much. Listeners, we want to thank you for joining us on Maritime and Border Show today on 90.3 Voice of the People Radio. We want to go for now as we've run out of time. We need to go to the next program, and we thank you for listening. My name is Dili Utomi.
All right, thank you. This is 90.3 FM VOP, and it's been the Maritime and Border Show. We sent some messages came in, we couldn't read them because of time, but be rest assured that this show will continue to help to build a synergy between importers, freight forwarders, and the government. And we're here to listen to all sides. We're not just going to take one side, you know. So thank you for listening. And my name is Prince Chilaka. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming. Have a lovely day.